All right, hi everyone. I'm Kevin Wright with City Communications Manager, and I'm here with Matt Podhradsky, our City Administrator,
Hi.
for year 2 of Beyond the Budget, which we were joking around a little earlier of maybe trying to call it Beyonder the Budget, but I think we'll stick with good grammar and just do year 2.
Good choice.
Yeah, well, hey, thanks. That's why we have the boss here. We're going to go into kind of another budget cycle here. The council just approved the preliminary tax levy on Monday. So, what does that actually mean if I'm a resident at home?
Yep, so the preliminary tax levy is basically when we establish sort of the maximum amount that the tax levy could be for next year. We do it in September so that the county can send out to all residents a notice in November called a Truth in Taxation Statement that basically says if the city were to move forward with the decisions that they're talking about now, this is what the actual impact would be on your house so that you're informed on that decision before it's actually made in December. This year, with what we're talking about, the impact to the median value home in the community would be an additional $7 per month. The median value home in the community is about $298,000 right now.
All right, well, that sounds like a good start. When you break down that $7 additional, what's kind of maybe the biggest takeaway, in the presentation you gave to the council on Monday night that you would want somebody who maybe missed that meeting to kind of know what that means or what that is kind of built out of?
Yep. So first of all, about $4 of that increase has to do with just the increase in the cost of actually providing service to our residents. So obviously a lot of residents have experienced inflationary cost increases this year. We have too. The other one is we have new residents in the community, and so we have to make sure that we're providing those services to new residents and also making sure that we're capturing their new tax dollars so that they're contributing to that too. The second component is a staffing study that we did a couple of years ago and determined that we were about 16 employees short. We implemented a program to basically implement over a 4-year period trying to make up that gap. We'd be moving into year 2 for this next year, so that represents about $2 of that total increase. And then the final part is public safety and some things that we've looked at, both our police and fire, that we think are really necessary for us to be able to keep up with our growth, which would be the additional dollar of impact to the residents.
And now public safety, that can kind of be a hot topic these days, and especially as cities kind of look at how those things are structured. Kind of maybe give us a little bit more details onto kind of what that staffing study shows or means for that sector of our city employees.
Yep. So with our police department, there's really sort of 2 things that we've focused on this year. One is officer safety. We, as part of our staffing model right now, have a number of times that we only have 2 officers on the street. So that's we call it our 2-officer minimum policy. As you can imagine, we put that back in place back in the year 2000. And now, since then, we've seen a lot of growth. Our community's gotten bigger. It's just not a safe model to run on anymore. We're just too big a community. Officers can get themselves in situations where if there's a call, somebody else can be by themselves, and it's just not a safe situation. The second part of it was really looking at our community conversations from last year and what the residents were telling us that they really wanted to see from their police department. They wanted to see police officers that had the time to be proactive, build relationships, be able to get in there and really be a part of the community. And when we're at minimum staffing levels and really have to be reactive to things because we don't have enough people, that can lead to us not having the time to be as proactive. So that's really sort of 2 things we looked at. Overall, it was really saying over the next 3 years, we'll add 1 officer per year over the next 3 years to get ourselves up to a 3-officer minimum staffing level.
And we'll cover police in another edition of Beyond the Budget in a little more detail, but this is just a good high-level overview for you watching now, so stay tuned for a later episode for a little bit more information on that. But you also mentioned fire, so maybe just a little
Yep.
bit kind of high level
So
on that too.
yeah, fire. We're really trying to maintain a model of a volunteer or paid-on-call system going into the future. That's become a lot more difficult to do that as we have people that just have busier lives. So we're really looking at how do we take those administrative areas of the fire department, make those full-time positions to help support our volunteers, so that long term, as we look into the future, that we don't have to be one of those cities that goes over to a completely full-time model, because it's very expensive. And we think we can be much more cost effective and continue to provide that same service level if we sort of focus on supplementing our budget in those areas that will support our volunteers.
Now, is there any point in time between now and December, if someone has any questions on this, what's the best way for them to kind of maybe engage in the process if they're a resident or
Yep.
business here?
So I'd say a couple of things. You can watch my presentation of the budget on our website. We have that out there. If you have questions, you can call me directly. My contact information is on the website. I'd be happy to talk to people about this. And you can also talk to your council members too. So their contact information is on the website, and feel free to contact them with any questions or concerns you may have.
Awesome, Matt. And just so everyone knows, again, we've kind of mentioned it before, but we will have a few additional episodes that kind of dive into some of these more specific topics like police, fire, more of the staffing study. So kind of keep an eye on our YouTube channel and our website for more information on those as we kind of go through this process between now and December.
All right.
All right. Well, Matt, thanks for kicking us off again this year, and look forward to a few more interviews down the line.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks.